Let's do some in the gym. Seth, let's go hang out with Christine in the back room. Guys, you go to town here. Let's do this. Boom, boom, and then boom.
All right, man. Let's talk about it. What'd you do to stay in shape? I know you weren't there just sitting around, not preparing for your matches and everything.
100%. We were there for over a week too, and we weren't there. We never got to a gym. Which is sometimes it's going to happen. So in those cases, you got to take this under your own hand, so to speak. But here's the deal. If you want to get some work in, you can get some work in wherever you want to. So like in North Korea, I pretty much did everything in my room. We were given these massive suites, but let's just pretend you're in a Motel 6 and you got barely enough room to walk around to bed and go take a piss. If you got a walkway, you got enough room. So literally I'll even talk about the workouts that I'll use when I'm on the road. If I only literally have access to, if I don't have a stairwell or only my room. So bodyweight squats. You can do a leg workout with bodyweight squats. You can find a chair. You can do step ups. You can do walking lunges, but you can do standing lunges where you're basically taking a step and pushing yourself back. So there's 3 really good compound movements that you can do bodyweight wise that will kick your butt. And if you think, oh, it's not challenging enough, okay, knock out 50 bodyweight squats, which is going to whoop your ass to begin with, and then try to do some step ups or some lunges and tell me if that's not going to get the job done. Sometimes I'll even want to challenge myself where I'll 10 sets of 100 reps body weights. You do that and you are limping. Now, granted, I didn't do that when I was in North Korea because I had to perform. I would have been hard pressed to be bouncing around the ring. Then push-ups. You can literally do push-ups. If you do a bunch of push-ups, you can do push-ups with your feet up on a chair. So you've got like an incline version. You can do regular push-ups. And what I do when I'm failing, when I can't do another push-up, if I'm doing, say, sets of failure, I'll basically do the push-ups till I can't do any more. Then I'll drop to my knees, call it a girl push-up, and keep on going. Those girl push-ups or the knee down push-ups, whatever you want to call them, those things are kicking my butt. And then literally from there, you're looking for some sort of a pulling movement. Now that's a little bit more challenging. In that case, like if you're at home, you could use like a broomstick. You can put that between a couple of chairs. But ultimately what I'm getting at is there's so many ways to stay active when you're on the road. And in many cases, people say, oh, if I don't lift weights, I'm gonna lose. No, you're not gonna lose. Just so everybody knows, it's 10 full days before muscle atrophy will actually kick in. So if you worked out this whole week and you hit every muscle, you could spend all next week not working out and not worry about muscle atrophy. Now, I'm not suggesting that, but I'm just helping people understand what type of wiggle room they have. So if you start doing bodyweight exercises because you don't have a gym, you're going to be fine. You'll still be making progress. That's how I approached it when I was in North Korea and any other place I am on the planet where I don't have access to a gym.
Hey, that's what's up, man. We got ARM here. I have one good side now. So what would be best to build my muscles back? Of the wheelchair and back driving now. I feel weak still, though. I have started to walk twice a week to start. What would you say to that, Johnny?
So I want to make sure I understand. So he's got an imbalance right to left. Is that correct?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. So if it's imbalance left to right and I don't know much about the situation, but so if I'm speaking out of term, forgive me, but I hear this question all the time in terms of imbalances, right? Here's the thing. The body wants to be balanced. It's a survival mechanism. So let's just say that Marty, let's say, pretend you and I are out. This is way back when food wasn't available at a grocery store. We had to go out and try to kill a zebra, bring it back to our people so we could all eat. All of a sudden, we stumble across a saber-toothed tiger and we take off running for our lives. That tiger is going to look for the person who has the imbalance. He's going to take that person down first. So our bodies want to be balanced. So what I'm getting at, so the advice here is just continue to do what you do, continue to work, and your body a lot of the rebalancing will come naturally just out of a survival instinct or mechanism.
And what I'll say is you could do some unilateral training. So you can do, if you're going to lift some weights and you want to do rows, do dumbbells opposed to a barbell, right? That way your left side that's weaker will eventually catch up to your right if you're doing the same weight. So I would say anything, if it's legs, try lunges, and walking is fine as well. But do things that challenge both sides of your body and not just, doing both sides at the same time, if that makes sense.
And on that level too, I would caution people. A lot of times there's an imbalance, and so they way overdo the side that needs to catch up. And what that does, it works against you, because if you do too much, it can't recover, and you need it to recover. Yeah. So then in terms of training, when you don't have a gym or you're on the road, I was able to do it literally in my room in North Korea. So for those of you who say, oh, I can't do it, I don't want to hear that anymore.
BS. And even like you look at there's guys on YouTube and all over social media doing stuff at the park. They're doing calisthenics, they're doing pull-ups, they're doing push-ups. A lot of guys don't even touch weights, and women, they don't even touch weights, and they have bomb bodies. So,
massive, great looking physiques.
Don't
and
sleep on the body weight.
100%. And when we were there, another thing too, when we were in North Korea, we had a really busy schedule. So I was getting my stuff done on some days in like a small 30-minute window. I was just busting my ass for a real short period of time because that was all the free time that we had. And so just remember, it's just don't let these little restrictions get in the way.
Yeah, and at that point, if you have a small window, 20, 30 minutes, talk about how the intensity comes in. I heard you say you were doing some stuff till failure. Did you do everything till failure? Did you do 100 reps, everything? And talk about why it's important to increase the intensity with that small amount of time.
I think what it comes down to is you got to look at the time you got, and you got to look at, can I get what I need to get done in that time? And so sometimes in that short period of time, you're going to have to really raise the volume. For example, you got a real short period of time, you want to get some legs in, just start attacking the workout. You get a couple of really high volume sets. If you knocked out, the first set was 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 reps of bodyweight squats, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball real fast. And just at that point, all you got to do is stay busy for the rest of your time limit, and you are really kicking your butt. So what I would suggest in that short time is start off with that, get yourself warmed up, and make that first set just a barn burner, ball buster. And then at that point, just keep leaning on it. And you don't have to do, once you're really cooked, it doesn't take as much for the sets to follow to get the job done.
Did y'all rehearse over there? Did you go over what your role was going to be in the match, or what your partner's role was going to be? Because I'm sure that's like a workout as well on top of what you did at your suite.
Yeah. So I was teamed up with Bob Sapp, and great dude. Love the dude. His memory is very short. And so, of course, we know what's supposed to happen in of course, for the most part, wrestling matches, I shouldn't say the most part, wrestling it's predetermined. We know who's going to win before we go in there. And so, there's a lot of rehearsing, a lot of practicing. But with my partner, Bob, there was a lot of things that didn't go to plan. So we just had to make sure that we ended up finishing the way we were supposed to. But on that level, on the day of the match, I've got to make sure that I didn't overly exert myself so I can perform at the level I need to, especially when it comes to in a setting like that where we're expected to perform at the highest level.
Definitely.
Great chat happening here in the side feed here. Good Time's been here with us now for 5 weeks. Just starting something small and getting after day. Jon, one thing I appreciate about you've taught me, we talk about teaching old dogs new tricks. You taught me to chase the feeling. And I want to bring Seth up here. Seth, I want to bring you up on stage here with us, pal, because you're out and about all the time, and you're in the truck, you're doing your thing, and out servicing customers. And sometimes we're like, I don't want to do push-ups, or I don't want to go and get a lift in, or I want to go and run or do some burpees, or to get something in throughout the day. Jon, talk about the power of chasing a feeling in the middle of the day, just dropping down, doing burpees, or dropping down, do some walking lunges, and getting it done. Because Jon, I have not been very good at that. I don't know, Seth, if that's ever any of interest of yours, but as you go through the day, Jon, and people make excuses, we really don't have any excuses to chase a feeling and then get that dopamine hit. Hey, Jon?
When it comes, especially if you're talking about doing push-ups or body weight squats or none of this stuff is very sexy. A lot of times not very exciting. So you don't look at, oh man, I can't wait to do these body weight squats till I'm limping. You envision how good it's going to feel when you finish that last set.
Yes.
And then at that point, that's your focus. You're focused on, because this is something I actually stumbled across when I was young. It was like I was working so hard, and there were times like, God, I don't want to do this. And then I would just think, man, visualize how good it's going to feel when you walk out of here knowing you checked all your boxes. And that became like such a powerful thing for me. And the best part about that, more you practice it, the better it works. And then you can take it, you can apply it to stuff that's extraordinarily boring, and you can get through it really efficiently. So it's all about chasing it. You got to visualize it.
Yeah.
You got to visualize it within detail enough that your brain actually gives you the emotion. You can feel that emotion in your body. An emotion is a physical thing. It goes through your body. Okay, boom. That's how it feels when I'm done. Now I got to go get that feeling. I don't want that just for a minute. I want that feeling for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Seth, wrapping up this segment here in the gym with Jon and Marty.